You know, when we think about single black mothers, we don't ever think about how hard this job is, to raise children. It's tough to raise children when there's two parents. Imagine when it's just one and it's the mother and she has to do everything with no help from the father. That's doubly tough. A lot of times we don't think of single motherhood as a position in which she has to be a soldier. She has to be a mother and a soldier. She has to mother her children, and she also has to be the protector of her children. So she has to know how to take up arms and protect her children, something that a man is supposed to do for her. This beautiful black mother you see in the backdrop behind me is Corinne Gaines. Corinne Gaines, a mother, part-time soldier, a black mother that was taken away from us in a brutal fashion in front of her children. This was so heartbreaking to me. I felt like when she was murdered in front of all of us, there should have been a war in the street. OverDrive. Damn. This is a tough one for me. Welcome, everybody, to this special edition of the OverDrive, where we are honoring our Black mothers in prelude to the big night we got planned tonight on Mother's Night, aka Ladies' Night. Temporarily, the name has been changed to Mother's Night because that's what it's going to be about. Because Mother's Day is tomorrow, and we're going to be coming with it real hard tonight, honoring our mothers. Hopefully, we'll have some brothers up there, along with myself, who will talk about what our mothers meant to us, how our mothers influenced our lives. How many of us wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for our mothers? Where would we be if it weren't for our mothers? So we'll be doing that tonight. If you want to hear me, the Black Knight, talk about how my mother was an influence in my life, you'll have to tune in tonight on Ladies' Night. Hopefully with Brother Hassan Burton and a few other brothers, we will be on there tonight talking about what our mothers meant to us. I hear that too much of a good thing isn't a good thing at all. I also hear that you're not supposed to preach hatred. Some even say you're not supposed to get angry at all. I don't know how that's possible. I don't know how a person walks around with no anger at all. But according to super gigantic coons like Jesse Lee Peterson, somehow you're supposed to have a perfect spirit in this world. In a world where everyone else is flawed, but somehow you're supposed to walk around with a perfect spirit. So you're supposed to never have anger. I don't know how that's even realistically possible. Even in the spirit, right? How is that even realistically possible? Even Jesus got angry. Heck, God gets angry. If you read the Bible, the Creator gets angry, and he gets angry often. It even also tells you in the Bible that the God that we serve is a jealous God. So I don't know where some of these people get off telling us that we're supposed to be perfect in the spirit. We're not supposed to get angry at all. How is that even realistically possible? So this tells you what type of people that we listen to and how we get influenced in such a bad way by listening to idiots who tell you that you're supposed to live a life of impossibility. And because you do not live this life of impossibility, somehow you're wrong and you're in league with the underworld, which is probably the most, I don't know how dumb, I don't know if you can get any worse than that as far as dumb statements. But anyway, you're not supposed to hate. I don't know about that either. You see, because even though I strive to be a righteous man every day, I fall short all the time. I get angry. I tell people off. Some things I overlook. Some things, I got to deal with. But I do believe in righteous anger. I believe that there's a time to have righteous anger. I believe that there's a time to become angry righteously. I also believe in righteous hatred. Some of you may disagree that we're not supposed to hate at all. I don't know about that. I believe that some people in this world deserve righteous hatred. Let me give you an example of people who deserve, in my opinion, righteous hatred. The Manosphere, a group of men who has taken a stance against our Black mothers, have taken a stance against this beautiful Black mother that you see on the screen with her two children that was murdered in brutal fashion, protecting her children. There was no man there to protect her. The father of those children was nowhere to be found. The father of those children that you see on the screen was nowhere to be found when the police ran down on this woman like they were the Navy SEALs and brutally murdered this woman in front of her children and shot her son in the process. But all this woman was trying to do was live her life righteously, provide for her children, and protect her children. The father of these children failed to protect her and failed to protect these children. So she had no other recourse but to protect her children herself. And she was shot down in brutal fashion like a dog in the street. Like her life was as significant as a piece of lint. The police murdered this woman with no regard for life whatsoever. They murdered her like she was never supposed to be here. Like she was never supposed to exist. The devils and the demons that took this woman's life did so as if she was never supposed to exist at all, as if somehow the Creator made a mistake giving her a soul. We have the soulless floating around here taking souls of the living. We have the soulless of the dead floating around here with automatic weapons and hatred, taking the souls of the living like it's some kind of video game, like it's fun, like it's something that they should do to pass the time. Righteous hatred, yeah, I believe in that. I believe that some people deserve righteous hatred. And I have a serious righteous hatred for the manosphere. If it were left up to me, I will see them run out of existence. And then once they're outside of existence, we'll run them away from wherever they end up at. If I had it my way, they would never know peace. They will only know retribution consistently. You see, because when I look at this woman here on the screen, and I think about how the manosphere feel about this woman, and feel about other Black women who are fighting hard with no man to do everything they can to provide for and protect their children. It gives me a special kind of anger. The kind of anger that probably most human beings don't harbor. When I listen to the cowards in the manosphere talk about our Black women and our Black mothers the way they do, and how they have such a disregard for their lives, and even going so far as to devalue their lives, and how they make fun of them when they're gunned down, unjustly gunned down. It creates a special kind of anger in me, which leads to a special kind of hatred. Righteous is the title of both. I developed that righteous anger and that righteous hatred. Make no mistake, I'm telling you straight, for all who will listen, I have a righteous hatred for the Black manosphere. A righteous hatred for the SYSBMs and any other male Black faction that has turned against our people and have turned on our women and children and seek to destroy the lives and devalue the lives of our women and children. For all of those who engage in that kind of behavior, that kind of propaganda and rhetoric and ideology, you, I have a righteous hatred for. And I would like nothing better than to see you go to your destruction. The woman that you see here in the backdrop is one of the many Black mothers we will be honoring tonight, or Ladies' Night. We're going to remember our fallen Black mothers. Corin Gaines in particular, those who know me heard me speak of Corin Gaines before. This particular one really breaks my heart. The reason why is because she died doing what her husband was supposed to be doing. She was gunned down doing what the father of those children should have been doing. She was protecting her children. And she was gunned down. She was left to face overwhelming odds all on her own. There was no man to protect her. There was no father of those children there to protect her. This is why this cuts so deep for me. She wasn't allowed to protect herself. She wasn't allowed to protect her children. And given her life to protect her children, she was talked about. She was ridiculed. She was made fun of by the cowards in the manosphere. They called her masculine. They said she had an attitude problem. Some of them said that they was glad that she was dead. This is the kind of hatred that we have towards our Black mothers. And it's coming from Black men who have created a phony faction, a copycat faction of their white counterparts. They're not even a real group. They're a copycat of a real group. They aren't needed in Black society. But they're here showing exactly how much they are not needed. Because what they do is speak ill of our women and children, and speak ill of Black people. And they even encourage violence towards our Black women and children. They also devalue the lives of our women and children. Now, many of us, we have mothers. Mother's Day is coming up. Some of us, our mothers are no longer living. When we think about our mothers and what they did for us, somehow to me, it never comes to mind that my mother's life never mattered, or my mother's life never had any value. That never came to my mind. And I'm sure many of you brothers who have mothers, or may have lost your mothers, or still have your mothers today, I'm sure that your mother's life not having any value never came to your mind. The first time I ever heard that spoken came out of the mouth of a Black man who was a part of the manosphere, the Black manosphere. He said that Black women's lives have no value. I've never heard a Black man say something like that before. I never heard Dr. King say it. I never heard Malcolm X say it. I never heard Marcus Garvey say it. I never heard Thurgood Marshall say it. I never heard Medgar Evers say it. I never heard Dr. Claude Anderson say it. I never heard Dr. John Henry Clark say it. I never heard Phil Valentine say it. I never heard um, Huey P. Newton say it. Never heard Stokely Carmichael say it. Never heard Bobby Seale say it. Never heard Fred Hammond say it. Never heard Rap H. Brown say it. Never heard a black man say that. Never heard Jim Brown say it. Never heard Kareem Abdul-Jabbar say it. Magic Johnson. Nobody. But I heard a black man say it who's a part of the black manosphere. And after he said it, the members of the black manosphere agreed. So he wasn't alone in his feeling, his ill thoughts about black women. They were in agreement and supported what he said. So if the women have no value, if that is how you feel about your mother, then what kind of value do you place on your own life? Since that's where you come from. Mother's Day, tomorrow, tonight, we will be honoring our mothers. We will talk about how tough it is to be a single black mother, especially in today's times. When you have a situation where the men, a large contingent of men, who are fighting responsibility, they are fighting against fatherhood. They are fighting against accountability. They don't want to take care of their children. They don't want to be accountable for their children. Some of them are even encouraging the outright murder of the child. Some are even saying, once you kill the woman, make sure you kill the child too. This is why I justify my righteous hatred. I have a righteous hatred towards the manosphere. And I'll say one more time, if it were left up to me, I would see them run out of existence. And once they get outside of existence, ran away for wherever they end up, they will never know peace. But they will know retribution. For an eternity, they will face retribution. The damage that they've done with just their poisonous rhetoric alone has set us back generations. I count at least 2 generations, and there may be another. They have infected the lives of our young men who now have no regard for the lives of the women in their lives, who now see a woman as an enemy, who now see a woman as a detriment, who now see a woman as someone to abuse, as someone to not respect, someone to hurt, someone to physically beat up so they can feel good about being stronger than someone because they're too weak to stand up against real men on the real stage in the real world in real time. They are too weak and cowardly to do that. So physically beating up a woman, physically hurting a woman, physically mauling a woman, disfiguring a woman, gives them a sense of pride It gives them a sense of manhood. It gives them a feeling of being a man because they are so cowardly and so afraid to fight that their minds have become twisted with the understanding of what manhood is. And with the constant negative push of the manosphere, which helps these boys to totally warp their minds towards manhood. It gets to the point where they take this behavior into the streets and start to attack women. I see countless articles almost on a daily basis. How many of these lunatics that are inspired by what they hear from the manosphere, Coach Greg, Kevin Samuels, how they are inspired by the hatred that they broadcast about our women. Tonight, we're going to be broadcasting love for our women, love for our mothers. On Ladies' Night tonight, the brothers are going to take center stage. We're going to talk about what our mothers mean to us, what they did for us throughout our lives, and overall how women have affected our lives growing up, and what helped us be the men that we are today. I'm going to tell you right now, my mother has a lot to do with me being the man I am today. She has a lot to do with the loving part, but you'd be surprised who has a lot to do with the respect part. That actually came from my father. My father was the one that taught me to respect women. My mother was the one that taught me to love women. So we're going to talk about a lot of things tonight about our mothers and how it's a thankless job. It's a tough job. It's a job that requires balance, meaning the mother and the father are supposed to be there to raise these children. But because we have so many cowardly Negroes that are escaping responsibility and accountability, the job has become one-sided and it is now unbalanced. And only chaos can ensue from things being unbalanced. So she's not always going to do the perfect job. Because for one, she shouldn't be doing the job by herself to begin with. So when I hear men blame women for how the children turn out, it makes me understand this about those men. That they don't understand what parenthood is about. They don't understand what manhood is about. They don't understand what fatherhood is about. And that they're looking to pass blame. Many of you have put our mothers in an impossible situation that she has no choice but to deal with the best way she can. You see, the Black woman isn't a coward. She's not a coward. She doesn't turn tail and run. As you can see, the mother here, Corin Gaines, did not turn tail and run. She gave up her life for her children. And there was no man there to protect her. Those two children are a product of a man who was nowhere to be found. When the mother of his children was brutally slain, doing something he should have been doing. Our single black mothers now have to take up arms. They have to become part-time soldiers. The job of a mother now has changed. Some things have been added on to it. She's not only the mother and the nurturer, now she has to be the soldier too. She has to provide milk and honey, groceries, leadership, and she also has to stand guard at night with a shotgun or an AR-15 or 45 bulletproof vest. She also has to stand guard at night while her children sleep because now she is the sole protector of herself, her house, and her children. And I blame black men for this. Our women should never be in this position. They should be protected at all times behind a wall of strong men. Not the case, though, is it? And let's just face it. With all these sad and pathetic, whiny, pissant, sissy boys, even though the black woman don't want to, even though that she shouldn't have to, but she probably don't mind giving what's out there. She knows she has to. She has no choice. And that's tragic. Because it's not like the black man doesn't exist. It'd be one thing if all the black men were gone. But we're not gone. We're here. So she shouldn't have to. It's tragic that she has to. And the more I hear the opposition against her, the angrier I become, and the more hatred that builds up inside me, a righteous hatred towards the manosphere and any other black male faction that directs nothing but negativity and hatred towards our women and children. I started this podcast by saying I have a righteous anger and a righteous hatred towards the manosphere and any factions like it. Any righteous, I think I'm frozen. 1 second. Dan, come in here real quick.
All right.
Let me reboot. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Yeah. Yeah. Um. Yeah. She had to defend herself, ignore Charles. That's the narrative that they wanna state as the reason why. When they triggered it by just walking in her door unannounced, so she defended herself. She didn't know who was coming through her door. Everybody she knows announced themselves. Everybody that has a key was in there with her. hmm Yeah. And they try to use her kids as a reason why They called SWAT. Her kids weren't in danger from her. Yeah, her kids weren't in danger from her. Hmm. Yeah, y'all kept everyone that she could trust away from her.
Well, I see that my brother Charles Faulkner's in the chat.
Yes.
This is one where me and him disagree. We can disagree. My brother, you know I respect you. I respect what you do. This is not a time for us to engage in a confrontation. This is about our black mothers. This is about our black women and children. This is not about you and I. You know, I respect you. I respect what you do. I would like that respect to remain that way. And but we have a disagreement. I believe this is Corin Gaines, a black mother who was murdered, doing what a man is supposed to do, protect his women and children. The father was nowhere to be found. And so the mother of his children was murdered like a dog in the street, and her child was shot. This is a failure for us as black men. We do not protect the life of the people in our communities. As black men, it is ultimately our responsibility to protect life in our neighborhoods, in our communities. No excuses. No excuses. And so we will continue to honor our black women and our black women and children. We will ignore any kind of distraction. We will not engage in any distractions. So let me get back to what I was saying. The worst of us is the men that don't protect their families, the men that don't protect their women, the men that don't protect their children, and men who do not defend their women and children, and men who do not take responsibility for their children and do not want to support their children or their families. That is the worst of us. The worst of us is not our black women. The worst of us are our black men. The worst of us have failed the rest of us. There was no leadership in these communities to speak of. There was no more strong leadership in these communities. There's nothing for the boys to look up to. There's nothing for the women to submit to. There is no manhood left in these communities whatsoever, no leadership. And that is a failure of us black men. As black men, we are the worst of our black society. Instead of being the saviors and the protectors of our society and our people, we have become a blight on our people. The only race of men where the women have to fend for themselves and the children pretty much raise themselves wherever they've been dropped off at, whether it be in the street or a bus stop or a fire hydrant, a fire station, because there were no fathers who want to take care of these children. We abandon more children than any other race of men on this earth. Now, I've heard these faulty statistics that black men are the best fathers and that we take care of our children. That may have been so at one point. But when you look at what's going on today, you can't tell me that that's true. You got so many black men fighting against child support. You got so many black men who don't want to take care of their children, who don't want to raise their children, who are perfectly fine with leaving everything on the mother. Men with that kind of mentality, that is the worst of us. Our women and our children aren't the worst of us. They're getting the worst. They are not the worst of us. They are getting the worst. In our communities, they lay in ruin and they are saturated with corruption because of either poor leadership or no leadership whatsoever. There was no leadership to speak of in these communities. Now, I understand some of you brothers out there have a difference of opinion. And you can have that opinion, but this is mine. And it's not going to change. And my hatred for the black manosphere isn't going to change either. It's just going to get worse. Because the more I hear brothers come and talk crazy against our black women, when we are supposed to be their first, last, and only line of defense, it just makes me hate these guys even more. There were no other races of men doing what we're doing. E Nation, don't be thrown back by attacks from the manosphere. They have a problem with what I'm saying. Let them have a problem. This is not about them. This is about our mothers that we're honoring. If they don't like that, they're just not. I don't know what to tell them. See, because every man does not hate black women. Every man does not hate his black mother. And just as the manosphere feels that they can speak hatred towards black women, we feel that we can speak love towards our black women. We have a right to speak our love for black women and how we feel about our black women, just like the manosphere feels that they can say whatever they want to say. Well, we feel the same way. Exactly. Run them out of here with your love for black women. See, they hate that the most. See, whenever they come in here with this, just turn up the love on the women and they'll go running. Because they hate that, because they hate women so much. They can't stand somebody spewing love towards women. Well, the world isn't coming to anything. It's the people. Well, as far as the world, the rest of the world really don't have anything to do with what's going on with us. The problem with us is we have too many cowardly men. We have too many weak men who want to put blame on women and who want to try and fight guys who care about women. Exactly. And as long as they exist, we're going to fight against it. I don't care who has a problem with it. So getting back to Corin Gaines, like I said, this one right here really, really bothers me because this is a woman that died doing what a man should be doing for his family. And I know them guys don't like that. That's not my problem. I'm going to keep saying it because that's what happened. She died doing what a man was supposed to do. Where was the father of those children to protect his family? Oh, I love it. That's what I'm talking about, people in the chat. Turn up the love. See, they hate that. You see, when you start speaking love for black women, oh, that burns them up. That's what I'm talking about, fellas. That's what I like to see. Look at the chat. Shout out to Truth Is, Hassan Burton, Emmanuel Briggs, turning it up. That's what I'm talking about. Nah, no. We're not going to get into no, no degenerate, immature fight with these sissies. What we're going to do is we're going to turn the love up in here for our women and for our children because they hate that the most. I love it, man. I'm proud of you guys in the chat. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Turn up the love, man. That's how you do it. They hate that the most. Turn it up. Don't get it. Like I said, don't get into the immature back and forth with them because then you give them some kind of validity. Turn the love up in their face. They hate that even more because they hate black women, right? Turn the love up. Turn it up. Shout out to Emmanuel Briggs, turning up the love. Shout out to Hassan Burton, turn up the love. Shout out to Truth Is, turn up the love. That's what I'm talking about, my brothers. That is what I'm talking about. That's what we about up in here. Turn that love up for our women. Make sure they hear it. Make sure they see it. Make sure it's big, bold, and loud because they can't stand it. They hate that the most because they hate black women. Black women, the original woman. Happy Mother's Day. Absolutely. Wow, if they hate this podcast, where they get a load of ladies' night? Because we really gonna turn it up on ladies' night tonight. They really gonna hate it. They really gonna hate what we got to say tonight. Turn up the love, my brothers. Turn it up. Let them know how much you care about the women they hate. Let them know how much you love the women that they hate. Happy Mother's Day to all the black women out there. We got a special show for y'all tonight, so pass the word. We're gonna have some brothers up here tonight talking about, including myself, talking about what our mothers mean to us. And we're gonna get some naysayers. You know, we're gonna get some naysayers. Let them. That ain't gonna stop us though. Shout out to Oasis King, another black mother in the house. This is what I'm talking. See, brothers, the love is coming out. That's what we about over here. The love is coming out. I'm proud of y'all, man. Y'all almost got a tear coming in my eye right now. I'm proud of y'all. That's right. They don't like it. Turn it up. Let them know how much you love black women. They hate that. They can't stand that. That drives them crazy. Shout out to Auntie Wanda. All right, Auntie Wanda in the house. That's what I'm talking about. They coming at right. See, see what love does. See, keep it up, my brothers. Keep it up. We're gonna make them sick. We're gonna make them Earl. They want to come over here. Well, we're gonna make them sick to their stomach. They ain't gonna come over here no more. They gonna get so sick from all the love they hearing. They're gonna run out of here. They're gonna run out of here and throw up. They're gonna puke up their guts. Did you just go to Max Channel? Oh my God. Oh, it was sickening to my stomach. They love black women so much over there. I couldn't hold down my lunch. Oh man. I don't even listen. I'm not even tripping anymore. They want to come over here with hatred. We retaliate with love.
Yeah, love is all around. Yeah, y'all saw how he was screaming. He was hollering, "Stop, stop!" up in here.
I love it, man. You brothers was great. Keep that love coming.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's how you deal with them bastards, man. Put that love in their face. They hate it because they hate black women so much. They hate themselves. Well, let's make them sick.
yeah, yeah. They should
Yep,
be
yep.
retreating from our area because they can't take it. It's their
Hey, hold it down for
kryptonite.
me. Hold it down for a minute. Then I'll be right back. I got
Hmm.
to go into the chat.
Yeah, love for love for black women, black men loving black women loving black men, sisters loving sisters, black women showing love to each other. They keep trying to make it sound like we hate each other, but that ain't true. Hmm. Yeah, turning their stomach, run them off. So every time they come here, we start sprouting, saying how much we love women. They won't be able to take it. They'll be screaming and hollering. They'll be throwing up stats. We don't care. We love our black women. We love our women, our mothers, our sisters, our cousins, our daughters. We love them. We don't care what you think. Call us simps. We don't care. Because if that's all you got to throw at us, then hey, you can just keep it stepping. We love our women. Yeah, yeah. We need love. Yes, we do. We need love from each other. We need love of ourselves, loves of our people. Let the love go around. Don't let them distract you by them saying some outrageous stuff, and you ready to go to fight them. That's what they want. You really want to fight them? Show them how much you love black women. Defend your black woman by telling her how much you love her and what you love about her and all the things that you love about her and of her. Yeah, that's the real way you fight them. Getting into arguments with them, nah, that's what they want. You wasting you pulling your energy arguing with them. You know, no. You can save your energy, get rid of them, and show your people how much you love them by, you love, you know. I love my mother because she is all this. I love my woman because she's all this. I love my daughter because she's all this. I love myself because they made me all this. Grandmothers, aunties, godmothers, even some of the teachers, the mother figures in your life, the church women that always come to see about you, ask about your people, demand their sugar, their hugs and kisses, and pull you up when you're not doing right, and praise you when you're doing good. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Talk about your love for them. Talk about all the things that you love about them, the good and the bad, cause you love them no matter what, whether they perfect or not. Black woman does not have to be perfect to be loved. You see her imperfections and still love her. She can be a human being and still be loved. Yeah, kindred mothers. Yeah, those of us oldest will remember when every mother's our mothers. Even women you never met before in your life will be fussing at you when you're doing something wrong or in danger, or see you throwing yourself or your life away like you ain't nothing. I remember fussing at a boy who thought it was funny to just lie in the middle of the street, cars are passing. And sometimes they don't see you right away. In fact, I almost didn't see him right away. And I was fussing at him. Boy, what is wrong? Stop doing that. It's fun. I almost didn't see you, boy. Don't you throw your life away like that. You are important. And he's like, nah, no, you are important. Don't you ever do something silly like that. Uh,
Oh, I'm sorry. I think Dean is on the call. So,
yeah,
uh,
you got something to say, Abner?
no, okay. Maybe I'm talking on ladies' night. So now I don't have anything to say.
All right. Save for ladies' night. Yep. Shout out to godmother, stepmother, adopted mothers, mother figures. Happy Mother's Day to you also. Yes, Emmanuel Briggs. You have more than just the mother that birthed you. You got the mother that birthed your mother. You got the godmothers, the stepmothers that love you because you are your father's child, because they love you. You got the mothers that teach you, regardless if they your child or not. They will claim you. That's one of my kids. I've heard many teachers claim the kids. I've claimed kids. Your mother's friend who's always talking to you, giving you advice,
Okay, I'm back.
correcting you. They all love you, and you know you love them. All right,
Yeah,
Max.
yeah, I agree with man, y'all still gotta go. This is what I love it, man. Y'all, man. Y'all still gotta go. I stepped away for a bit. Y'all still got it on 100. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Nicole, this love in the chat, Dane, for black women. Dane,
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely right.
Abby, look all this love in the chat for the black women.
Mhm, mhm,
That's what I'm talking about. You see, that's how we get them back, people. We keep spreading the love. They want to spread hatred. We gonna fight that by spreading love for our black women. We
mhm,
ain't gonna be quiet. We ain't gonna stop. You understand? We're not stopping. We're not gonna be quiet. We're gonna turn it up. Matter of fact, y'all ain't seen nothing tonight. We are actually holding back. The real
mhm.
show gonna be tonight on Ladies' Night in about 2 hours. In about wait a minute, are we going 8 o'clock tonight, Dame, or we going 6?
We're going at 6.
All right.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we going ham tonight.
Yeah.
We
Mm,
gonna turn it up tonight. This was just a prelude to what's coming tonight.
mhm. All
You
right,
know.
y'all. I know y'all enjoying the love, and I'm glad the love is spreading. But it is we got a couple hours before we have to go on, y'all. So we'll see y'all for ladies night, or no, let me correct that, Mother's Night.
Yeah, temporary. We're gonna change the name to Mother's Night tonight,
Mhm.
starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right? We're gonna let
Right.
that love. We're gonna let that love rip. We're gonna let it rip all night,
Mhm.
and we hope it makes the manosphere sick to their stomach. But we ain't doing this to get back at them.
No,
We're
no.
doing this because we have a real love for our brothers, our sisters, and our children and our mothers. That's what we're doing this for.
Mhm.
So don't get it twisted. This ain't about no manosphere and how we trying to get back at them. This is
No.
about how we feel in our hearts. That's how hold on one second.
Yeah. Yeah. This is how we feel in our heart. Show our love, appreciation, tribute to the mothers that are gone, that's not with us physically, but is in our hearts and in our spirits. You know. So yeah, and of course they couldn't take it. They had to send one of theirs who had to say something. Hmm. Had to tear her up even in death. But no, no. Let's continue with the love. Let's continue with the love. You fight them with love. You fight them with the love you have for black women, and you do not let them pull you away from showing your love to get at them. It's not about them. It's about our mothers, our black mothers. All right, y'all. Okay. Peace, power, and unity. And I'll see y'all for ladies night.
Just cut the stream, Dan. Don't play the music.
Oh,
Because we're
don't
gonna
play
use it
music.
tonight.
All
No, we're
right
just gonna
then.
cut the stream.
All right. No
Peace,
music
power,
today.
unity.
Peace,
See
power,
y'all
and unity.
tonight.